You're listening to the You Don't Know Me Yet podcast network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl LD. I got my girl Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's up, Tanisha?
Hey Linda, how you doing?
I'm doing well. We got our boy Darren. We don't even bring Darren in no more. He just there.
I know, right? I just appear.
I got to turn on the light because I look like I'm in witness protection.
Oh Lord.
Look if you need help.
I probably ought to turn one down myself.
I know, right? What they say, blink twice.
Yeah, if you need help.
Yeah, we gotta. I'm representing my Knicks. I'm still in denial. I'm still hurt. I ain't in denial. I know we lost. I'm just hurt.
No.
I know
We
we're gonna get a run through. We're gonna talk about the NBA finals, some WNBA rundowns because there's some stuff going on, and then whatever else may pop into our mind. But we're gonna hit them too. But what's going on with you first before we jump into that?
Every day above ground is a good day. Yeah, that's the best I can say.
This is true.
I mean, I got my roof finally done from the lightning strike, so I'm happy about that. My boom room is back.
And
shout out to Tanisha with the new hairdo. You know, they got that thing.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
You get a little something.
I see you.
Push it up a little bit. It's all good.
Right.
It's all good.
Switching it up every once in a while.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm about to be 52, girl. Living life.
Not talking about the age. I got one coming up in a month.
I know you do.
The big 6'2".
I'm proud of you, Linda.
Somebody told I was on the phone with somebody. I said, "Y'all turned 62." They said, "No, that's senior. That's Social Security eligible."
You got the AARP. That card coming in the mail.
ARP hit you at 50, don't they?
Listen, I'm in denial.
I wouldn't know.
I keep seeing it, but I won't open the letter.
Open it up. I was in denial, but you know what? They got some good discounts. So go ahead and get your
dude. I won't open it up. I'm like, that's got to be a mistake.
Me. Shit, I'll use the discount.
They know when you turn. They know when you turn the right age. They just start sending it.
I'm like, that's got to be a mistake.
Yeah, you can send it to me. Look, I'm always looking for a hookup for a good deal, discount. I don't care.
Hell no, that's got to be. I'm rolling with. That's got to be a mistake.
It is not a test. You are AARP eligible, and I am Social Security eligible.
What?
Darren, you can't get nothing yet.
Darren can't get nothing, old baby cub.
That's fine with me. It means I ain't supposed to have it yet.
We ain't getting older. We just getting better. That's all.
No, definitely. All
right, let's jump in here. Let's talk about the series. Things went the way I needed them to go last night, but Darren called me. I said I don't even want to watch the game. I don't even watch them because I'd be stressing out. But Darren, go ahead. Let's get your take.
Well, I'm not. I think the only thing I'm surprised about that is going at a minimum 6 games. I thought that it would be over within 5, but Indiana they did pretty good in being able to split their home series with OKC. But I just think the thing that I like about the series is that each game you see a series of adjustments, mostly done by OKC. We saw where OKC game 1 they fell off at the end, gave up the game winning shot. Haliburton, they came back, kind of pushed it.
Did you think that was coming again last night?
When it got down to 2 points, no. The reason why, because for whatever reason, they decided to keep Haliburton in the game instead of switching him out with TJ.
Yeah,
when they didn't do that, but I'm just saying, when they didn't do that, I was like, oh, well, there. And then I just felt that there was too much momentum with J Dub along with Shea that they weren't going to allow Indianapolis to like take the lead because for a while in the fourth quarter, Shea was on the bench and they were trying to get him in the game, and I think it wasn't until a late foul in the fourth quarter that stopped play that got him into the game. But overall, I expect OKC to go back to Indianapolis on Thursday and close it out there.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. And the main reason why I feel like that'll happen because you never want to, people love game sevens and game sevens are good. But if you're that home team, there's more pressure on you than it is the visiting team because it's like you had home field, you had home court reason.
Aaron, how many points did Haliburton have?
He had 4 points.
Yeah, he was. And I Tanisha, go ahead. What's your take?
Haliburton.
No, that is my take.
That's your take. Well, I'm gonna. I'm not a fan of his. He can play. I'm not a fan. But if you looked at his shots, everything was hitting the front of the rim. It was short. That calf was worrying him, and he couldn't. He could go north and south, but he was not going east and west. He couldn't do it, and so that's a coach's decision. And I mean, Darren touched on it. It's not up to the player that says I want to stay in the game. You're a coach. You watch it, and he's Rick Carlisle. I'm surprised he let that happen because he's a better coach than that. Where I would have took him out. And the other guy, what's his name? McConnell. He
TJ McConnell. Yeah,
he was playing great. He was killing them.
He had 18.
Yeah, he was killing them.
Yeah, I just don't get that.
I didn't understand that. I don't know. I think Haliburton, whatever y'all want to call him,
that's what she.
What you say?
That's what she calls so much.
Haliburton. He's gonna.
I know we're gonna talk about it in a second, but to see Caitlin Clark hit the ground the way she did just now is kind of.
Don't anybody talking about that. We'll get around to the WNBA when we get to the WNBA. So I think that his presence or absence is going to make a big impact on the game because when he's on the floor, you got to respect him. I don't care what kind of, what his injury is. I mean, he's been fighting through it because he said it the game prior too. He's going to play through that injury, and he played well.
He's got a strained calf. I know they did an MRI today, but they haven't said to what grade or whatever. Now He said he's going to play, but I mean, you got a strained calf where you have to have an MRI. And had it been the regular season, he wouldn't even play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, you playing. If you ain't gonna do no better than what you did yesterday, or what's your purpose in being out there? Just to say you're out there and fought through it, but if you can't contribute. I think he had maybe.
You get to the last two games of the season.
That's what I'm saying.
Both teams, you don't want to sit, and so I know, but it's a balance. I agree, it's a balancing act.
Are you hurting your team though?
Are you helping me? Or are you hurting me?
That's
and
what I'm
last
saying.
time you hurt him. So if you get out there, I give him a shot. If he says, "Hey, I want to go," you give him a shot and see what it feels like. But yeah, you got to have some kind of trust and honesty between you and your coach to say, "Nah, it ain't gonna work."
And you hurting him play 34 minutes too.
Yeah.
And I think for Oklahoma City, their biggest adjustment came when they went back to their original lineup that they should have had starting game one when they went with the two bigs, Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren. For whatever reason why they put
the last two games.
Yeah, we've seen it come away with wins, but again, you should have did that the first game out. Because you had the size advantage on the boards and everything. Because I mean, you saw in yesterday in Monday's game that they couldn't rebound the basketball. It's like
because they were all over the boards, putbacks and everything. Those prior to you gotta have it. And how you say his name? Hartenstein. I like his game. I like his game. I like the way he's 100% hustle, 110%. He gonna give it to you every time on the floor. So.
Didn't he play for your Knicks?
Indy got a good coaching staff, so I don't know, and they going home, so I just can't see. I agree that the pressure is on OKC. You go back home, but I don't see Indy. Even if I think he's definitely a factor, but I'd say even with Hallie hurt, they can win the game.
No, they can't because the reason it's right because I'm telling you right now,
he ain't been the one killing people.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's the engine in the offense, but what I'm saying is that the
they
problem
points last night without him.
No, listen. The problem that Indianapolis is going to face this game is that they saw what TJ can do, in the amount of time they did. So again, with the adjustments, Oklahoma City's going to be ready for it. Now, they're going to prepare both ways, whether or not he can play, go for the entirety of the game or not. And what I'm saying is that those bullets have already been shot and have already been played when it comes to what TJ McConnell is going to be able to do against because
I agree. You're only counting on TJ McConnell. They got a deep bench. Indiana got a deep bench, and all it takes is for one of them dudes to step up, and they can hurt you.
I get it,
but it was spread. That 109 was spread out amongst
and that's
quite
what
a few
I'm
players.
not talking about at home.
But again,
that's true. He hurt them more on the floor than he did off the floor last night because they were flowing. So I ain't gonna count them out at home.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that again, we saw like Benedict Mathurin, in game what was the game 3, have 25 points, led all scores or whatever in that game again. But we've seen what he's done the last 2 games, right? He hadn't done it.
Right. So they may step up. What did Turpin do?
Turpin hit 12.
He can give you more. So these guys may step up. It's a matter of who's hand the ball is in. If you keep putting the ball in, they were moving the ball. Other people will get in touch and see how I'm gonna get his.
Oh yeah, he dropped 28 on
a couple other 2. Yeah, got to get theirs too. So I like I said, I want them to lose the next game. I want it to be done. I'm not like a game 7 junkie. I'm like let the team I'm pulling for win. So but I just don't. I'm not gonna count them out. I just can't count them out. Not the way they've been playing. Even I think without him, that team, different things motivate people. Maybe they get motivated enough to say, "Hey, we can let him heal." And get the game set.
But that's what I was about to say. Maybe the extra game, if they can get, that's one more game that he may can get a little bit of treatment on.
Yeah, and it depends on what the MRI says, right? So we don't know. We'll find out that. Hopefully, it's nothing. I don't want to see anybody go down.
Oh hell no!
You don't want to see anybody hurt.
You don't want to see somebody get this close and then everything go.
Right. It's not. That's terrible. So, Darren, in other words, you are saying OKC closes it out Thursday night.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Juneteenth represent. Tanisha, what you?
I agree.
Okay.
And they also and as you all may know, the magic number that they have to reach is 111 for Indianapolis because they hit they hit 111. I believe they're undefeated thus far. Unless
but it is like they ain't lost back-to-back games in the series. Also,
until yesterday.
Yeah. I ain't picking. I know who I want.
You're not picking. No. That ain't what we do. That ain't what we do.
I think Indy can. I can't pick until I know whether the boy hurt or not.
He hurt. What do you mean?
I mean,
he's hurt. He's got a straight
He doesn't know the extent of how hurt he is.
Okay, if the injury ain't severe, MRI don't come back and it's crazy, I give Indy the game.
Okay.
As much as I don't want to, I give Indy the game.
All right. Well, I'm going with OKC. Close it out.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be cool. I mean, look, it would be cool for them to win it at home. But again, I ain't
with all of that either. I
don't like game 7s. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like game 7s because I don't like game 7s if it's for the team I'm rooting for because anything can happen in that game. The rims can get tight, butts get tight. The palms get sweaty, and and the question is, are the superstars going to show up to play? Because we've seen like James Harden or somebody game 7.
Yeah, you think they shrink when it get tight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
they shrink when it get tight. So we hope that don't happen. All right, I got a couple of things going on here. Let's move on to. So we got it. Y'all two going with OKC. I'm going with Indy. We'll see what happens. Check back here next week. Same back channel. All right.
On our phones Thursday, they talking about, they did it. Be like, nah, you did.
So here the WNBA. A lot going on in the WNBA. I mean, we've got the Commissioner's Cup. Got 6 games on tonight. And so we'll be watching that. But some significant things that happened. So Caitlin Clark came back, put up
like 30 something.
30-some, how many you say? And they beat the Liberty. So get handed the Liberty their first loss. I mean, it was 17 threes. She hit 7 of them. She was hot, couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Couldn't miss. She looked good in her game back. She almost had a triple double. So she looked good in the game back, first game back.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark. I mean, excuse me, Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers' first game back from her injury. She dropped 35. I think that Dallas need to fire that coach now.
One in what?
I can't
1 and 11,
validate
I
it,
believe.
or I
1
can't.
in 11.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's horrible. He looks lost on the sidelines. Now, from what they're saying is that is the coach that they hired with zero experience or whatever. You know, he was doing something on the team over Lisa Leslie.
It's a attack of lunacy running around.
Yeah, I think she said she would never apply for another coaching job in the W. I don't know if there was some AI or whatever. I hope that's not the case. But she applied for 3 positions and she was turned down for all of them. There's no way that Lisa Leslie should not be on somebody's bench, and especially that team, because they have talent, but the coach is horrible. Like they had a play where he could have challenged. They lost to Vegas the other night, and they could have won that game if he wouldn't challenge. What you gonna do? Stick it in your pocket and take it home? You know how I am about timeouts and
I
challenges.
mean, that's what Tibbs do.
Timeouts and challenges.
We saw what happened to him.
Yep, it don't work for you. And
timeouts and challenges.
The team is yelling challenge, 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 and you don't challenge, so you don't trust your team.
Yeah.
And you got to challenge late in the game, and then you say something like, "Well, I should have." You know, he's terrible. He's terrible. But I don't know if he'll make it through the season. She's not gonna. I don't think she'll go back and take that job because why would you if they dissed you like that? But let's go back to Caitlin Clark for a minute. All the great things that she's doing on the field. I mean, excuse me, on the court. One of the reasons I struggle with her, I think many people saw and pointed out, that body language. Caitlin ain't a complete team player. She's gonna pass the ball. She's gonna get this. She's gonna get her accolades. But Darren, you saw it. What you think?
I mean, it's a problem, and a lot of people are afraid to say it or afraid to call her out. Saying for not want to be called, certain names or whatever. But she's throwing her hands up in the air and stuff, and the player is making the basket. Like you throw your hands up if you toss them a pass and they blow the layup or something. You throw your hands up. You throw your hands up because you want the ball back, but they down. I mean, you pass it to them down low. You want the ball back, but they make the basket. You throw your hands up anyway.
But
if I was a teammate,
rebound, you ain't even passed it to nobody. They worked and got the rebound, and you want them to kick the ball back out to you. You waving for it, and then you like standing there mad because ain't nobody passing it to you, and then they make it, and come on.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is that she try to, people try to make say she's a team player when a lot of times she make it all about herself. And people like to get on Angel Reese about stat padding when it comes to rebounds and stuff like that. But there's many times that we've seen her, go back, coach, put her back in the game so she can go get a triple double, go get a rebound or something. She's stuck at, 21, 10, and 9 or something, and she tries to get that.
That's how it was in college. So nothing's changed for Caitlin. Yeah. That's what she's been used to probably in high school too. We're gonna set this record. So we beating the team by 40 points, but it don't matter. You can stand there and get 50. So
as a teammate, I ain't gonna do it on the court, but we're in the locker room, we're gonna have some worries because you're not gonna show me up.
And I'm gonna say this, like I've said the same thing about Hallie. I've said the same thing about Michael Jordan, and there's some other players. Caitlin Clark goes in that category. I respect her game on the court. Most of it. She needs to learn how to play defense. But from an offensive perspective, yes, she's a threat. She's a killer. But I'm not going to be a fan. First of all, you're from Indiana, so I ain't a fan of nothing from Indiana. So, that's just the way it is. Okay. I'm not going to hide that. But I don't, as a coach, as a former coach, I don't like that. I don't like that. So you never belittle your teammates on the floor, and you've got to get over that. So I think that's going to come with maturity. I'm sure she's heard about it from social media and all that. So she'll make those corrections. I hope she'll make those corrections.
Hearing about it is one thing, but making the changes is another. That's what I'm not convinced that she will do.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that I hope she will do it. I hope she does do it. Tanisha, what's your
I think she probably feels a lot of pressure, a lot of weight on her shoulders to perform or whatever. You know what I mean? And maybe she's not doing a good balancing job with that. We're trying to live up to the hype and everything else. I mean, she's a naturally, talented individual. She don't have to do anything extra. It's not hard to be a good teammate. It's not hard to pat. It's not hard to big up your teammates when they make points.
Yes. Yeah, and
she'll probably look at that film and go, "Man, that don't look worth." That's not where it's at.
Good look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And you got all those kids out there watching you, and as soon as she came back, they had a big, huge ratings boost right back in WNBA. When she was out, the ratings went down. But as soon as she got back, boom, it came back. So she still got the fan base out there, but she gotta, you gotta be a role model all the time. Unfortunately for her,
yeah,
she have to fix some things up.
Yeah, the All-Star
game is good though.
Is
game is steady getting better.
It's going to be crazy out there in Indiana. Yeah, it's going to be Caitlin Clark town. It's our town now, but yeah.
No, it is already.
Yeah, so it's going to be that. That's why them tickets are crazy. That's why everything's crazy when you're trying to get there. But so we talked about her a little bit. Angel Reese.
Triple double.
What do you think? What's your take on Angel?
Yeah, triple double.
I know, but what's your take on her play this year?
I mean, shit, her team ain't that great. I mean, her team ain't the great. I think she's doing good.
Yeah.
What she got and what she working with. I mean, they got some pieces they got to go get. But I feel like she's doing her job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think she's been inconsistent, but she's, I think she's been inconsistent early on. I think she's been inconsistent early on. I think, because offensively, I mean, she's not a great offensive player, but there's.
I mean, watching her now.
Look, we don't do it.
And she's made some nice moves. Her handles are better. I think she has a coach. I just watched her with two nice plays. They're beating the Mystics right now, 37-21. But I've seen a difference, and I've seen it's almost like what Coach Marsh did with Jackie Young. He powered the game with Jackie Young and built some confidence. And I think he's going to build. They got to give him some time. I think he's going to build some confidence in these girls and skills. I mean, he came
and let him build it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Let him build. Don't be.
I mean, he was in Indy, but he was also a part of that championship Toronto Raptors team. So he's played, and coached and worked with some of the best. So the man knows what he's talking about. He knows the game. His dad, that's a lineage they have there. So his dad. So you have somebody, and he was on the Aces. He's with the Aces. So big part of that team, big part of those wins. So yeah. I can see them growing if they're allowed to grow. You can't keep snatching coaches if they're allowed to grow. And if you're gonna get something like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's 10 times better than what's in Dallas. I want to shift. I want to stay in the WNBA, but I want to shift a little bit. So it's a lot going on. I know social media is not the place to go get your news, but you see a lot. There is a lot of. I mean, this game is physical this year. Do you think they're just zooming in on it, or is it really that much more physical than it's been in the past? I mean, I'm seeing hair snatching. I'm seeing, all kinds of I mean, what do y'all think?
It looked physical. It looked overly physical to me.
You think so? More so than in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I feel like I feel like after last year, it's like everybody went in like you got to be stronger. You got to get in here. You got to get in this weight room to be able to hold your own like that. And you can tell. I mean, hell, they snatching people backwards. Hell, I mean, it's rough out there in them streets.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah,
you got to have your weight up. You got to be in that gym.
Yeah, I saw Asia out with a concussion, and she takes some blows. Darren, what you say?
I mean, it's kind of like the NFL. If you want to have long dreads that stick out your helmet or whatever, it's part of the uniform. And if you get pulled out, you get pulled out.
No, it is not like
that is not
basketball. WNBA, that's a foul.
No, that's not basketball.
No, hold on. I mean, I mean, look, it used to be a penalty in the NFL, but they said it's part of the uniform now. I said it used to be a foul in the NFL, but but it became a thing when look. Nobody told Angel Reese to have braids all the way down to her
Everybody in the
knees.
W got braids, damn near. It's a whole bunch of people. You can't, Darren. You're not talking about
Well,
the NFL.
she was the one that got her braids in the way.
All right, so
And
he
it
don't
got
want to be
yanked.
serious. Back
I'm
to you,
just saying.
Tanisha.
I,
No,
I,
that's
I
not.
am
You can't
serious.
snatch
I
people's
mean,
hair.
no. I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm just saying, look,
No, it
that
was
was an
not. Did you
accident.
see the
But you know
replay?
what I'm saying?
Damn accident, man.
That
Come
was
on
not
now.
no accident. You wrap your
I
hand
mean,
in there and pull it down.
I
That's
mean,
not an accident.
Ain't nothing accidental about that.
yeah, I don't. Hold on. That time it was on purpose. I'll
Okay,
give you
that's
that.
what the
It
time
was
we
on purpose
talking
that time.
about.
But but again, I mean, but we saw the repercussions. I mean, I think Angel didn't Angel take a
Nah,
swing
she
at her or
rolled up
something?
on her, but she ain't swing at her because Tina Charles and everybody jumped into it. But what I'm saying, it's not an
I think they
accident.
both
Your
got
hand can
technical
get
fouls
tangled up
on
with
that.
somebody else's hand. People get slapped in the face, elbows fly.
You hooking and stuff. That's
I mean, look,
natural.
Caitlin Clark just
But
got popped in the face.
you doing a twirl to
Caitlin
get
Clark
the
just got
hair is
popped in the
not.
face.
Right. So Caitlin, okay, you want me to say Caitlin Clark's name every time I mention something? Everybody has been popped in the
Hold
face
on.
once or twice. If you play basketball,
I'm
that's how it
agreeing
goes.
with you, Linda. Bring it down some.
Right.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, no, I'm saying, no. Okay, look, when we serious about it, they obviously it's a foul. It is a foul. Now, if your question if your question is, I mean,
No,
should they
my
be doing it?
question
No,
was
obviously they
simply this:
shouldn't be
do you
doing it.
see
Has become more
more
physical.
physicality this year than you have in the past?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and to what extent or the reason why I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to prove something to the fans or to the audience, or whatever. That I guess in trying to compare because we know how we talk about a lot of these NBA players are soft how they couldn't play in
Mhm.
past generations or whatever. And I think what we're seeing right now is just the physicality, to where they just don't want anybody to saying to get easy buckets and
Faster,
stuff.
stronger.
And look,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I'm
and look,
laughing because I'm
think about
like,
it. The
what in
opening
the world?
weekend.
It does seem like I'm watching games like really, and
Yeah.
I don't. So
Yeah.
that's a point. I mean, what I
It
think
might
is just my
I
opinion.
won't be surprised if we have some nice a couple of bench, hopping off the bench brawls or something. It's done got
Well,
rough
they
out
done
there in
had
them.
that. They done had it after the game. They done had a
Yeah.
couple of those after the game where folks are rolling up on each other. Benches are clearing. They try not to clear because they don't want to throw everybody out of the game. But yeah,
Yeah.
people getting in people's faces. I mean, you're gonna talk trash talking part of the game or
That's
whatever.
part of basketball.
They laugh and they do this and they do that. But those are the same people they'll go out and break bread. So it's heat of the moment. A lot of it heated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's just like,
Yeah, that's just talking crap.
I think the biggest concern, I think the biggest concern, when it comes to you talk about physical, is that, well, for me, it's the amount of blowouts that we're seeing in these games because to start the season off, they were high scoring, but they were kind of close. Now we're seeing, because you and I, Linda, we talk when we're looking at some
Mm-hmm.
statistical stuff. We're talking about, how the blowouts are just taking. For me, it's taking the excitement away because if a game is leading towards a 20, 30-point blowout, I'm just going to change the channel. I'm not going to be interested in sitting there watching the rest of the game because it's like, it's going to start turning into the NBA to where, okay, they got a 30-point lead and it's not even the end of the second quarter. Well, hell, I mean, what am I going to stick around and watch after
agree.
halftime
I
for?
agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, Denise, you gonna say something?
No. I'm just saying it's just the way the game is unfolding. I said just these girls are stronger. You know what I mean? They know what it takes. It's like I said. It's a competitive league when it's only so many slots. You got to be in your best, the best of the best. These girls are getting in shape and they coming to hold a position down. So it's not surprising to me that the game is getting more physical. I mean, you've seen a lot of great players that just ain't making the
You
cut.
think because they're bigger and stronger, or you just think
Yep.
it's getting more?
I
Okay,
think it's just I think just the speed. I mean, it's just better training now. They know what they need to do. These girls are coming out there and they watched Caitlin get drug all last year too. That wasn't fun. And they getting out there and they're like, you know what? It's a physical game. We about to do this. Everybody can have some. And I don't think anything's wrong with it, to be honest with you. I mean, of course now the wrapping of the hair, that's bullshit. I mean But other than that, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
physical.
mean, if
Basketball is
you
physical.
banging with somebody, yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, people were saying like Dejanay Carrington, they like she needs to be put out the league. When they go up, somebody go up for a block
Whatever.
shot, and they making sure you don't make the shot.
Yeah,
That's what you're supposed
yeah.
to do, right?
If you
I think
foul, you might as well foul and make sure
I
they
don't
don't
think
follow through.
right, and
That's
like
what you taught.
yeah. So I don't know. I just
Nothing's changed.
yeah, I just was. I don't know if it was like a fan thing or teams telling them to go out to play, or that's just how they figure it. I've got to say somehow.
But if you're
What they
But I was gonna say, if you're the league, you want to be mindful about it because again, you don't want it to affect the style of
agree.
play of what's coming across to the audience. Because I'm looking at the
Mhm.
standings, and we've got 13 teams. You only have 5 teams that are literally 500 and above. Everybody else is either 500 or below. You got 6 teams that have a better record than 50%. The other 8 teams are 50% and
Yeah, a
below,
lot of it is too.
and
So a
that's
lot of these teams, and then if folks don't know, a lot of these players, you'll see where it's
Mhm.
just suspended, and that's how they carry their transactions. But they've gone back to play with their home teams, their national teams. So that's
Oh, okay.
always a concern too. You'll lose key players like in the
Mhm.
middle of the season because they're going to play that international game or qualifying games or whatever it is that they're doing. And they get paid a whole lot more money to do that. And on
Absolutely.
top
That's what I'm about to say. And that check is different too.
yeah, yeah. And you put injuries on top of that. So you lose something that
Mhm.
you had at the beginning of the season and you get it back at the end of the season. That's why teams start looking different. But you hope you can hold it together enough to make it to the playoffs with those absences. So
Yep.
um, yep, we'll see.
Every game counts.
Yep, we'll see. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that, like with the physical or whatever. And because I watched Unrivaled during the summer, and you talk about physical, man, they were beating the hell out of each other. That was a physical league, and I think it's all just carried over. And that wasn't like my team, you know what I'm saying, against your team. That was we all mixed
We
up.
just
But that's
in
whoever
there
I'm balling with. That's what
balling.
I'm balling with. Them three on the floor. That's my team for that day. You could be going up against your own, one of your own teammates. They didn't care. So you're right, Darren. It may be, hey, I'm showing what I got.
I
I'm
know. I
showing-
told you them slots are limited. It's a whole lot of talent that didn't make the cut this year that we were surprised about.
And some of them they're calling back. So I've seen three, and what's her name, Caitlin Chen.
Mm-hmm.
She got called back to the Valkyries
Okay.
from the girl from Connecticut. That
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see. Like I said, some people are gonna get called back up. Injuries, people leaving,
Gotta be
all kinds
ready.
of stuff. Yeah. So you got to stay ready. Got to stay in
Gotta stay ready.
because I think of a couple of players that can help some teams. And I see some people on the court, and it's like, oh God, put them on the court. So, but
hmm.
yeah. So we
But
said,
let me say this though. But don't is it fair to say that there's one player that I guess you think it was more mental, more so why she's not in the league from Chicago? I mean, from Chicago from last year. The
Kennedy Carter. I mean, she's overseas, killing them overseas. I mean, that was a speculation. I don't want to talk about anybody's mental health because I don't know. And
no, 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 no. I'm talking about no. I said no. I'm talking about just. I said more like just because she was just very aggressive or whatever. They seemed like they had a problem with it when she did it. They don't
yeah, I
have.
don't think no, because I don't think I think it's more to that. So I think it's a
Mm.
matter of getting along with people and stuff like that. I don't think it had anything to do with her play on the floor because
No, hell no. She
she could
is
play,
out.
she could play both ends. The girl's an
Ain't
excellent
never
ball player
lied.
since she was at A&M. So she was pretty much the only person that could stop her was herself.
That's
So
what I say. I would really kind of like to see her get another shot. To be
yeah,
honest with
I
you.
mean, you clean up the behavior, you might, because I mean, Atlanta let her go, and then now they let her go, and nobody, you don't let talent like that doesn't come around. You just let it go. So there's something else going on. I'm not sure.
Something else. It's got to be something else. We don't know. All right.
Um, I did want to. We said at the beginning or before we got on the air that we wasn't going to talk about it, but Darren, what's going on with Antonio Brown, NFL?
Lord have mercy.
Crazy. CTE getting what he's got coming to him. Well, he was in a situation. I think it was around. I don't know if it was around the Super Bowl time or something, but he was at an award show where some people tried to, I think, snatch his chains or whatever. And I think they were successful in snatch his chains. He got it back. One of the guys had a gun. a handgun on him. Antonio Brown, I believe, took his handgun and started firing at the guy. And I think it grazed him, and he was arrested initially. They let him go, but I think after further investigation, they got a warrant out for his arrest for attempted murder, and he has not turned himself in, which is interesting. But
you said he has turned himself in. Oh, okay.
He has not.
I think Tanisha, you said which hit was it that did it for him?
That one from the Bengals, the dude from the big Burf, whatever, when he spin him around like a helicopter.
His name up. Burfsit? How you say his name? He ain't in the league no.
Perfect.
Yeah, he has a couple of people, but yeah,
I think I think that's the one right there. They hit him, and then what's his name? Diggs. Quandre Diggs caught him a couple of times too. Almost knocked his chest out of. Yeah, knocked his heart out of his chest.
Because you can go down a bad road with that, as the studies are showing. So, but he's been going down a bad road. I don't know if he was.
But to me, I immediately thought that when he went from being what they said one of the hardest workers on the team, his personality just changed. It was just it was very sudden, and to me, as hard as he battled to have that reputation, and all of a sudden just. I don't even know if I want to play today. And, I'm just walking out on my team. The personality change. We saw the hits. We've seen him get nailed. And it's unfortunate. I just wish there was some kind of something to help these guys out, because I think very few people probably don't think that he has CTs. It's just early onset of that, because his behavior is just entirely too erratic to me.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a little off way back when he was in Pittsburgh when he showed up with a helicopter. Yeah, showed up on a helicopter with him and his kids. I said he's not gonna be there that long. Not with Mike Tomlin.
Nah, Mike. Mike wouldn't go for that.
So, but if he did what he did, then you got to pay the piper. So, Tanisha, let me start with you. Closing thoughts.
I can't wait to football season get going again.
How many days?
What is start on the 4th of September?
Yeah,
I don't know the date. Yeah. I don't know the days. I ain't counted down like that. Go and tell me, Darren.
It's Thursday night. Yeah.
How many days, Darren?
I think we got like 70. Whatever Donovan Smith number.
Yeah,
I think it's like 79 days or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that. The opening game, the Cowboys in Philly. So I'm excited about that game. See what the Cowboys got this year. I'm hopeful. I roll. So
everybody start off the season hopeful. I'm starting off hopeful too. I'm in the same. I ain't clowning you, because I'm in the same boat. I don't know what we're gonna look like.
Yeah, I'm starting out hopeful. We'll see how it works. Got a little bit of everything up in there. But that's it. Just excited about football season getting ready to come around and see what's gonna happen this year.
Okay. Darren, what about you?
Training camp started today here in Kansas City, so got that, got the mini camp for this week, but also do want to send a shout out to my significant other. Her birthday is Saturday, so she's recovering, doing her thing, and so other than that, I would just say I'm glad folks had a good. Hopefully, a lot of people had a good Father's Day weekend. And I know your people did. I know Big Pat probably did, and Pops.
Yeah.
Big Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So
Johnny.
Hopefully,
Johnny.
Hopefully, everybody had a good Father's Day and stuff. And so,
I gotta tell that story. So, my mother, rest her soul, she's done the same thing. So, you're trying to get your parents to do a voicemail, right? So when somebody calls them, there are things on it. They're not gonna say the whole thing. So I remember calling Teresa's dad's number, right? You have called Johnny. You have, I'm not available. Whatever. You know what it said? Johnny.
That's how he said. Johnny.
I think
it's still on there to this day.
But how many years ago, Tanisha? Years ago?
About probably 15, but I bet it's still on there. Johnny.
I'm gonna call it after we get on.
Yeah, I bet it's still on. I'm like, Dad, Lord have mercy.
I love it.
I was there when he leaned into it, Johnny.
That's out there. Johnny. Yep.
Yeah, he leaned into it. You know, yeah, my daddy's funny.
Yeah,
Shout out to him. He's 78, man. He all right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Dad. Pops is getting on up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about our dads today. My dad's 94.
Congratulations.
Like, yeah, so it's
seem like, but if you're 94, you done to do.
And he had
what?
We ain't gonna go into it.
I said we ain't gonna go into it.
We
go into it. Yeah. Some things we just gonna left unsaid. Better left unsaid.
Exactly. Yep. My closing thoughts are always, in these times they've kind of been the same, right? So just be kind. You don't know what people are going through. You really don't know what people are going through. Watch some videos, they're pretty sad on TV, you see, on social media, whatever, family all together, person sitting there smiling, and the next thing they're gone. And so if you can't say a kind word,
no, hold
the door, whatever, kind word. And I say to y'all, you too, tell people you love them. I love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, because you'll regret if you didn't. And we're not promised tomorrow. Nobody is. The stuff that's going on now is absolutely crazy. So protect yourself and protect your loved ones.
Yep. Buying book, people.
Great.
Yep. Like I say, remember, always, be kind, be blessed, because it's free. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.